Hi, good day everyone, and welcome again to our English 1 Oral Communication in Context subject. And today we are now going to talk about lesson 3. And lesson 3 is entitled Types of Speech Context and Speech Style. Okay, so this lesson class is also very important for us because human as we are, no, we communicate with different purposes, right? So we communicate um, depending on what purpose we intend to in different situations, and of course, to connect ourselves to others. We interact to give information, to express our emotions and feelings, and to motivate each other, right? As what we have learned from the lesson 1, right? Okay, so we are very lucky that nowadays we have now the face-to-face class, um, wherein we can communicate better compared to last year. Now we only have online classes. All right, and this new normal actually lead us to be more connected with the people around us, like of course our family, our friends, our classmates in school, and of course, your teachers, right? Okay, so in other words, class, no, every day we communicate to express whatever it is that we want to share to others, express ourselves, and to understand other people, or and also to communicate even group of people or even in a big crowd, right? If you have experienced that one. So for this lesson class, you will learn the different types of speech context and speech style. So before that one, before the definition of terms, I'd like you first to tell something about the picture. Okay. All right. This is the first one. What do you what do you think is she doing, class? All right. So basically, we can say that she is thinking deeply. No, she has something on her mind, and she's alone. Okay. So probably, she's also talking to herself at the time, right? Okay. In the next picture, okay, this one. How many people are there? hmm So we can count one, two, three, four. Okay, there are four of them. And what do you think is their relationship? Okay, based on the picture, their facial expression. Okay, so probably we can say that they are friends, close friends, right? They are in a camping site, or maybe not really close friends, maybe family members or relatives. Okay, or colleagues at work. All right, next picture. Yeah, this one. Okay, what do you think is the speaker doing? hmm Okay, so probably the speaker here is conducting a seminar or orientation. Yeah, something like that, no? And can you count how many people involved in that situation? Can you count that one? I think we cannot really count that because it's just in the picture, right? Okay, it's hard to count that. So it's a big crowd, in other words, so compared to the previous picture. Okay, and how about this one? What is she doing? So, yes, obviously she is reporting. Right, we can say that she's reporting because there is a cameraman and she's holding microphone, right? Okay, so in that situation, how many target audience is she expecting? Can you count? Okay, we can count, no, but there would be enormous number of audiences using mass media, right? Okay, so anyway, I'm asking you about these pictures because that will lead us to our first topic of this lesson, which is the types of speech context. Okay, so when we say speech context, everyone, okay, going back, all right, here you go. So, speech context class is where the communication takes place and the number of communicator or communicators involved in the communication process. Okay? All right. Now, when it comes to speech context, we have four types. First is intrapersonal. Next is interpersonal. The third one is public. And the fourth is mass communication. Okay, so we will define each type and we will also think of an example for the types of speech context. Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, types of speech context. First is intrapersonal. Okay, so intrapersonal, no, it has the prefix intra. That means within or inside, right? That's intra. Now, when we say intrapersonal, this is communication that centers in one person. So the speaker acts both as sender and the receiver. Okay, so this one class, I'm pretty sure that you have experienced this one many, many times, but you just don't recognize it or realize that you're already having interpersonal. Because when I ask you this question, if have you ever talked to yourself? I'm pretty sure that your answer is yes. then and why do there may be times that we talk to ourselves? hmm right? So basically, we talk to ourselves when, for example, when we have to make decision, right? For instance, if you want to eat your lunch already, and you might be asking yourself, "Oh, what food should I be eating today?" Something like that. Okay, so you just simply talk to yourself. Okay, you may also have interpersonal when you pray, when you what else? When you answer to a certain problem, right? Okay, so interpersonal class, no, in other words, this is when you do some self-reflection, meditation, seeking understanding about things, decision making, and even formulating an opinion. So this is considered as internal dialogue with yourself. All right. So this is actually very good opportunity for us to learn more about ourselves. Because this is part of self-awareness, everyone. Yeah, we know better about our strengths and weaknesses when we do this one. So this is also very effective class now when we communicate ourselves. Yeah, and for me, this is also very calming whenever we are in a very stressful situation and we have no one to talk to with regards to whatever we're feeling at the time. So this is really great intrapersonal communication. Okay, so I think we still have other information here. Yeah, this one. So in the intrapersonal, by the way, I will just edit this one. This is not number 2, but this is still number 1. Okay, for the interpersonal, according to Hybels and Weaver, it's stated here that the message is made up of your thoughts and feelings. Okay, so the channel is your brain, which process what you're thinking and feeling, And then there is feedback in the sense that you talk to yourself and then you discard certain ideas and replace them with others, right? So I hope you now understand what intrapersonal communication is. So again, class, when you talk to yourself, no, it's healthy. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Probably what's something wrong is that you obviously talk to yourself and then you laugh alone, like gradually, and then people already notice it. Because anyway, we are conscious when we communicate with ourselves. Okay? Anyway, let's go to the second type of speech context, and that is interpersonal. Okay? So, for the interpersonal, it has the prefix inter. It means between or among. Okay? So, this time, unlike the first speech context type, which is intra, you communicate within yourself. This time for the interpersonal, you now have someone you are talking with. Okay? Yes. So this is communication between and among people and establishes personal relationships between and among them. Yes? Okay. So for the interpersonal, everyone, this one allows us to interact with and understand others in our personal and professional lives. So this is actually known as people skill. Okay, people skills, everyone. Um, and this is a good soft skill now when we know how to communicate others, and this is a great opportunity also for us to understand others. Mhm. So we use these skills daily when we interact with people around us, face to face, or even online. Okay, so when it comes to interpersonal type, according to Solomon and Thais, yes, inter means how people connect and link together. Because again, inter in as a prefix, it means between and among, right? And then personal means that your unique qualities as a person matter during interpersonal communication. All right. And when it comes to interpersonal communication or context, we have two types. Okay. We have what we call dyad and small group. Okay. For the dyad, this is a communication that occurs between two people only. Okay? Again, two people only. That is dyad. And for the small group, this time now involves at least three, but not more than 10 people engaging in a face to face interaction, working to achieve a desired goal. So, again, just take note of how many people we have here for the small group. Three, but not more than 10. So, in other words, 3 to 10 people. But for the dyad, only 2 people. Okay? Yes, so I hope you understand now what is interpersonal context. Okay. All right. Now, let's proceed to the third type of speech context, and that is public. Okay. So, for the public, everyone, this requires you to deliver or send messages before or in front of a group. Okay, so you are in front of a group of people. So message can be driven by informational or persuasive purposes. All right. So for the public class, no, this time now it involves a bigger number of audience, like for example in graduation ceremony, political campaign, public speaking contests, debate, seminars, orientations, or meeting. Okay, so yeah, the people now who are listening to you is more than 10. Okay, yes, but of course, when it comes to public, so you have this specific group of people, depending on the context, on what you are communicating with to them. Okay, so those are actually examples of um, public. Okay, so other information here, it says that according to Hybels and Weaver, in public communication, the channels are more exaggerated. Mm-mm. Exaggerated, it's because since you are communicating in a big crowd, you have to um, amplify your voice. So technically, you have to use microphone, you have to use a visual aid, diba? You have to use a screen, DLP, something like that, for a better understanding of what you're talking about. So the voice is louder and the gestures are more expansive because of bigger audience. So speaker can use visual channels such as slides or PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so again, that is public. Now let's proceed to the fourth type of speech context, and that is mass communication. All right. So, mass communication, everyone, this is a communication that takes place through mass media. Okay. So, for example, television, radio, newspaper, magazines, books, billboards, internet, and other types of media. Okay, so when it comes to mass communication, the imparting or exchanging of information on large scale to a wide range of people from different places. So this time, large scale, you don't have a specific audience, and since you are using the channels, the mass media, is you will reach more people from different places in the country or even around the world. Okay, so technologies are used in this type of speech context for the dissemination of information, of which journalism and advertising are part. Mhm. So, posting a public post on Facebook or other social media sites will allow enormous number of audience to read or watch your post, right? So in that case, you need to follow the etiquette in posting in a social media. So be very careful whatever you post there because you will reach a large number of people. Okay, so that is mass communication, everyone. Okay, so going back now, we have four types of speech context, and that is intrapersonal, interpersonal, public, and mass communication. So this time, yes, it's your turn. Okay, so I want you guys to try to identify what type of speech contexts are these four situations. Okay, so if you want to challenge yourself, you may pause the video. Okay, but let's get started now. Number one, it says here, Irene creates a blog about the effects of new normal caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. What do you think? Is it interpersonal, intrapersonal, public, or mass communication? All right. So, number one, this is mass communication. All right. Mass communication, we have a clue here, class, and that is blog. Okay, so Irene will be posting an information through a blog. So technically, she can reach many people from searching about the topic COVID-19 pandemic, new normal, effects like that. And the people will reach her blog using the internet. So that is mass communication. Number two, Juves is wondering what to wear as she looks at her wardrobe. Okay, if your answer is intrapersonal, you are correct. Okay, this is intrapersonal class because as you can see, Jules is wondering what to wear. So basically, she is asking herself, "Oh, should I wear red color shirt? Should I wear dress? Something like that, diba?" And I think we always do that every single day. Yeah, wondering what to wear. Okay, so that is intrapersonal. Number three, Ruby prepared her virtual valedictory speech. Prepared her virtual valedictory speech. Okay, if your answer to this one is public, then you're right. Okay, so number three, class, this is public. In what way? Okay, remember in public, you are speaking in front of a crowd, okay, and valedictory speech, no virtual, even if it's just virtual, but you have a certain group of people who you are communicating with, like your batchmates and the parents, so that is considered as public. You might be confused that, oh, this is using virtual, so this might be mass communication, right? It can be. However, um, if it is a valedictory speech class, of course, that is only exclusive for the people in that institution or in the school. So only those people who have um, who are included in the ceremony, graduation ceremony, will be able to watch this one. Okay, so that is why this is considered as public. Okay, all right. So that means number four, this one is interpersonal. Yes, it says here, Group 1 members started to brainstorm about their English 1 performance task. Mhm. Now, if I'm going to ask you which type of interpersonal is this situation number 4, is it diet or is it, what is the other one? Okay, is it diet or a small group? Okay, so this one now is a small group. Okay, because usually the groupings are consists of 3 to 10 members, right? Okay, so that is an example for the interpersonal communication. Okay, so class, I hope you now understand the 4 types of speech contexts, namely intrapersonal, interpersonal, public, and mass communication. Now let's move on to the second topic of this lesson, and that is types of speech style. Okay, so, okay, let me ask you first this question. Class, what is your manner of speaking when you talk to your classmates? And is it the same when you talk with your parents? Is it the same as how you communicate with your classmates? How about with your teacher? How do you communicate with them? Do you class use the same style when you talk to them? Okay. Basically, classroom, we don't have the same manner of speaking in all situations. We have um, degrees of formality on what language we use with the person or people we are talking with, right? And it depends on the situation and place as well. So, in this um, topic, you will learn the 5 types of speech style, everyone. Okay, so when we say types of speech style, this one class is the context, no, or the situation dictates and affects the way people communicate, which results to speech style. Okay, our style of speaking, our manner of speaking, right? So each style dictates appropriate language or vocabulary. All right. Now, when it comes to speech style, we have 5 types. Number one, intimate. Second, casual. Third, consultative. Fourth, formal. And the fifth, frozen. Okay. Now, we will define each type of speech style. All right. And try to also think of an example class. So the first one is intimate. So intimate class, this is a private which occurs between and among close family members or intimate individuals. So the language used may not be shared in public. So this is more of a private talk that involves um, 2 or more people, for example, best friends or a couple, family members, diba? So your message might be about your secrets, your plans, family problems, and other things that should not be shared to anyone else. That's why it's called intimate. Okay, so only you or your friend or your lover or family member will be able to know. So you don't actually need to share whatever it is that you are talking about, right? Second is casual. Okay, so casual, this is a style, and this is very common no, among peers and friends. So when you are having casual conversation, no, so you may use jargon, slang, street language, gay language, or even vulgar words that you and your friends understand. Okay, but you cannot always use jargon, slang, or street language to your family members, no, because when you talk to your family members, it's more intimate. But this one, casual, this is usually how you speak with your friends, maybe colleagues at work too. Okay, your peers, something like that. Okay, so again, that's it. That's casual, everyone. Let's proceed to the third type of speech style, and that is consultative. So, consultative, everyone, from the word consult, no? This style is the standard. So, professional or mutually acceptable language is a must in this style. Okay, so examples to this one is teacher and student. So, the student might be asking about her lacking entries and class records. So she's trying to consult it to her teacher. No, another consultative. This is also very common from the term itself, consult. No, to the doctor, and that's an example: doctor and patient consultation. All right. We also have another example: judge and lawyer. Okay. Yeah, so in consultative everyone, this is used in semi-formal communication. Okay, and of course, this happens in two-way participation because this is conversational. All right. Now let's go to the fourth type of speech style, and that is formal. Okay, so formal class, this style is used in formal setting, and this is one way. Unlike consultative, it's very conversational that you may be the sender and the receiver at the same time, but in this formal, this is only one way. So the speaker alone will speak in front of the crowd. So we have here an example. We have sermons by the priest in the church, sona by our president, formal speeches or pronouncements by the judge. Okay, so formal class, this is used in speaking to medium to large groups. Okay, so the speaker must frame whole sentences ahead before they are delivered. And informal, since this is informal situation, the speaker avoids using slang terminologies or jargon that the audience won't understand. No, so language is comparatively precise and has a set agreed upon vocabulary. Okay, all right. So again, no examples we have here: meetings, speeches, school lessons, court, corporate meeting, interviewer in the classroom. Okay, so that is formal, everyone. Okay, now let's go to the last type of speech style, and we call it frozen. Alright, so this style is frozen in time and remains unchanged. That's why it's called frozen. So it mostly occurs in ceremonies. So we have here examples like preamble of the Constitution, Lord's Prayer, and allegiance to the country or flag, our singing of the Philippine national anthem, Lupang Hinirang. Okay, so frozen class note, these are used generally in a very formal setting. So most formal communicative style for respectful situation. So just like when you sing Lupang Hinirang, you have to pay respect when you sing that one, and that is considered frozen because we cannot just simply change our national anthem. Okay, so that is already established and part of our identity as Filipinos. Okay, so no, want to share my examples like national pledge, anthem, even school creeds class, no, marriage ceremonies, speech for a state ceremony, and others. Okay, so that is frozen. Now, going back, everyone, again, we have 5 types of speech style. Number 1, that's intimate. 2, casual. 3, consultative. 4, formal. And the 5th is frozen. Okay, now it's your turn again. So I want you guys to identify which speech style type are these following situations or sentences. Number 1, delivering oratorical speech. Okay, what do you think? So the answer to this one is formal. Okay, so this one class is formal. Okay, because going back now, when we say formal, this is usually just one-way conversation and there is an audience. So that is formal. Number 2, reading school policies. All right, and as we all know, school policies, may or may not change, but the basic policies like wearing a uniform, being on time, it's always the same with other schools. What do you think? Number two, class, this is Frozen. Okay, that is Frozen. Number three, talking to a superior. Talking to a superior, this is consultative. Okay, so when you speak to your superior or head or supervisor manager, you want to consult something or ask about anything about your job, so that is consultative. Next is inquiring at a hotel. Mhm. So number four, if your answer is consultative, that is correct. All right. Consultative because, when you inquire, that person who will pick up or entertain your questions are expert to whatever it is that you're asking about. And so that is considered as consultative too. Okay. Number five, leading a prayer before meal. What do you think? Okay. For number five, this is. Mhm. So, this can actually be intimate, and this may also be frozen because our prayers before the meal, no, can bless us, O Lord, in this thy gifts. Um, that's remain unchanged, right? So it is frozen. And it can also be intimate because usually we do this one at home. Yes, with our family members. All right. So that's for number five. Again, number five, it can be frozen or intimate. Okay, number six, reading news report. Okay, what do you think? Okay, so for number six class, reading news report, this is considered as formal speech style. Okay, diba when we go back to formal, it says there that it is one way, and the language used is very standard and formal. Okay, so you might encounter this kind of question. Just remember that number six, reading news report, that is formal. Okay, yes, because it cannot be frozen, it cannot be intimate, not casual, not even consultative, right? Okay, number seven, talking about memorable experiences with friends. Mhm. If your answer is casual, then you are correct. Okay, because casual speech style, again, that usually occurs with group of friends or closest friends, yung mga peers or even colleagues. All right. Lastly, number eight, having one-on-one conversation with a loved one. Mhm. And the correct answer to that is intimate. Okay, intimate is the answer because you're having a conversation in which no one should be able to learn about it. It must not be shared to others, and you have an intimate relationship with the person. So this one is considered as intimate. Okay. All right. So again, everyone know we have five types of speech contexts. I mean speech style, and that includes number one, intimate. Number 2, casual. 3, consultative. 4, formal. And the 5th is frozen. So I hope you now understand, class, no, the different kind of or type of speech style that you can use depending on the situation, and also depending on um, the ones who will receive your messages. Okay, so before we end, I'd like to leave a code to you, class, that says here: communication works best when we combine appropriateness with authenticity, finding the sweet spot where opinions are not brutally honest but delicately honest. Okay, so class, I hope you really review this one, because next meeting we will have an activity for our next performance task. And of course, next week, a quiz for this lesson. Okay? Thank you so much, class, for watching my video. I hope you understand. If you have some questions or clarification, you may do so during our face-to-face class. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day ahead. And take care.